Willow exposes shocking secret at Michael and Sasha's wedding. Chaos erupts. Spoilers. Port Charles buzzed with excitement. The Corinthos estate was transformed into a vision of perfection for Michael Corinthos and Sasha Gilmore's lavish wedding. Golden roses lined the aisle, white orchids cascaded from every surface, and the scent of champagne floated through the air. Everyone expected a perfect day. Everyone except Willow Tate. Willow, standing in her room at the Quartermain mansion, stared at herself in the mirror. Her fingers trembled as she clutched a folded piece of paper, a document she'd kept secret for weeks. The truth burned in her hands. She knew if she said nothing, Michael and Sasha's picture-perfect life would begin without a hitch. But she couldn't. Not after what she'd discovered. Not after what Sasha had done. And certainly not with the secret Michael had kept from her. Guests poured into the garden venue. Sonny Corinthos, recently re-established as the family patriarch, was beaming beside Nina, trying to avoid the tension still lingering after Willow's last confrontation with her. Carly, despite her differences with Sasha, stood proudly next to her son. Christina, Brooklyn, and Maxie chattered excitedly, unaware that a storm was brewing. Sasha stood in her dressing room, radiant in an ivory gown, eyes brimming with tears, some from joy, some from guilt. She glanced at a vial in her purse, a leftover from her past drug use. One she swore she didn't need, but was afraid to throw away. Deep down, Sasha knew the wedding was built on a lie. Meanwhile, Willow paced her bedroom floor. Her heart ached not just from betrayal, but from the lies that had slowly unraveled before her. She remembered overhearing Drew and Nina arguing, revealing Sasha had made a deal with Nina months ago to seduce Michael in order to keep the SEC investigation on Carly buried. Sasha had initially resisted, but her fear of returning to prison and losing access to her son Liam's grave broke her. Nina manipulated her, and in return, Sasha gave herself to Michael under false pretenses. And Michael? He suspected something. He wasn't innocent. He kept it from Willow again. After everything they'd been through. After their vows, their promises. Willow had forgiven him once. But this time, it was too much. The wedding ceremony began. Sasha walked down the aisle to soft music and gasps of admiration. Michael stood tall, smiling at her, but a flicker of doubt lingered behind his eyes. His mind briefly drifted to Willow, her silence in recent days, her distant expression at the rehearsal dinner. He had the sinking feeling something wasn't right. As the officiant began the vows, a hush fell over the crowd. Michael and Sasha, today you pledge yourselves to one another. Suddenly, the hush shattered. Stop the wedding. Gasps filled the air. Heads turned. Willow stepped into the aisle in a pale lavender dress, her voice clear and fierce. Michael's eyes widened. Willow. Sasha froze, her face turning ashen. Carly's jaw clenched. Willow walked forward, past startled guests. I'm sorry to do this. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. You both deserve the truth. Everyone here does. Silence fell as Willow unfolded the paper in her hand. You're marrying a liar, Michael. And you're lying too. Sasha only pursued you because Nina threatened to send her back to prison if she didn't seduce you. And you, she looked at Michael, betrayal burning in her voice. You knew. And you stayed quiet. You let me believe this wedding was real. That your heart had moved on. Sasha's lip quivered. Willow, please. Don't, Willow snapped. You let me think you were just a friend. You stood in front of my children and smiled at me like everything was fine. Michael tried to speak. Willow, I didn't want to hurt you. No, Willow interrupted. You just didn't want to be exposed. You lied, Michael. Again. You always say you're better than Sonny, but at least Sonny owns what he is. You? You wrap your betrayal in pretty words. The guests murmured. Carly stood, her eyes scanning Nina for confirmation. Is this true? Did you manipulate Sasha? Nina's face paled. Brooklyn whispered to Chase, this is a disaster. Willow turned her fire toward Nina. You did this to me. You couldn't destroy me through the SEC, so you tried another way. Using Sasha? That's disgusting. Nina shouted, I was trying to protect Michael. And Sasha? I was trying to fix everything. You ruined everything, Willow replied coldly. Valentine, standing beside Anna, frowned. Nina, tell me this isn't true. I wanted control. Nina broke. I wanted to protect my daughter's family, to make sure you all didn't push me out. You pushed yourself out, Willow said. Over and over. With trembling hands, Sasha stepped forward. She's telling the truth, Sasha said, choking on tears. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Nina came to me when I was at my lowest. She offered me a chance to keep everything, to stay out of jail, to have stability. I didn't think I had a choice. Willow's eyes filled with tears. We were friends. I never stopped caring about you, Sasha said. But the lie just kept growing. I convinced myself it was for the best. And what about Liam? Willow asked. Would he be proud of what you've done? Sasha collapsed into sobs. All eyes turned to Michael. He looked stunned, exposed. Why, Michael? Carly asked. Why didn't you come to us? Michael's voice cracked. Because I didn't want to lose Willow again. Because I was ashamed I let it happen. I tried to shut it down, I tried to fix it quietly. You always try to fix things with lies, Willow said. But this time, I'm not staying silent. I won't raise my children around this kind of betrayal. Michael tried to reach for her, but Willow stepped back. I'm done, she said. With you. With all of it. Guests began to leave. Sonny shook his head, muttering, this is what secrets do. Christina glared at Nina. You just can't help yourself, can you? Brooklyn stood beside Chase, unsure whether to comfort Michael or run after Willow. Carly looked at Sasha with open contempt. Don't come near my family again, she warned. Meanwhile, Sasha fled the altar, disappearing into the woods behind the estate. Michael stood alone under the arch where vows were never spoken. Willow disappeared into the limo that was meant for a bride. In the days that followed, Port Charles reeled from the wreckage. Sasha checked into a rehab facility on the outskirts of town. She released a statement taking full responsibility for her actions and stepping back from deception indefinitely. Michael tried to reach Willow again and again, but she wouldn't respond. She took Wiley and Amelia and moved in with Brooklyn for space. Nina was formally disinvited from Wiley's birthday party, and Sonny's anger boiled to a level not seen in months. You betrayed my son. Again. Carly began planning legal actions to protect Wiley from Sasha's influence. Willow met with Diane to discuss her legal options. She wasn't after revenge. She wanted peace, protection, and the ability to start fresh. At a coffee shop 1 week later, Willow ran into Sasha, frail but clean. I'm sorry, Sasha whispered. For everything. I know you are, Willow said. But it's going to take more than that. They stood in silence before Willow finally added, I hope you find your way back.